Hey everyone, it's Dan, your host here at Dan's Reviews, and today we are back for another Walking Dead video. This is leading up to The Walking Dead Season 8. Now today I want to talk about The Walking Dead Season 8, but really what we're going to also be doing is talking about the top 10 best episodes of The Walking Dead television series, in my opinion. I did it, quite a few months back. It's been a long time since I actually did my top 10 best episodes list. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, before I do, I just want to put off some honorable mentions as usual. So the first episode actually that I am actually going to have really close to the list, but not exactly on the list, is Better Angels, the second last episode of Season 2. This one was a great episode, but it just didn't quite fit. And there's also another episode on here that I also couldn't exactly put on, which is the actual pilot episode premiere, series premiere, which was very close as well. Now, this is definitely a really tough list to do, so, it took a lot of consideration, but let's see what we have here. So, number 10, coming in at number 10 is The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 2, JSS. This episode was awesome. It was brutal, exciting, action-oriented, a lot of drama, a lot of brutal scenes, it was mixed just with tons of different things. This is the official battle versus, Wolves versus Alexandria episode, and it was killer. It was amazing. It was like a war in one episode. It was amazing. Definitely very violent, very cool, very interesting. Definitely an amazing episode for the Walking Dead TV show. Just survived somehow. We also got the flashback of Enid in this episode too. So, definitely something else. But anyway, so then coming in at number 9 is the Season 4 finale of The Walking Dead. Now, this is a really great episode in my opinion. This episode shouldn't really, almost nobody gives this episode credit. This was an awesome episode in my opinion. You get the death of Joe, all of that stuff that happened there, and then to end it off, you have the stuff at Terminus, which was really cool, and, kind of meeting Terminus, Rick and the others going in, and just everything that happened, the cliffhanger at the end, the suspense for Season 5. Really, really cool. It was really, really awesome. So, this episode, definitely needs some more credit, and it always was one of my favorites out of Season 4. So, yeah, this is an amazing episode for sure. Now, coming in at number 8, I just know I'm going to get hate for my number 8 spot, but the reason why this episode is on here, I know I'm going to get some people saying, why is the Season 6 finale on your list? Well, I want to explain myself a little with this one. The reason why this one's number 8 is just because of the fact that when it comes to this episode, the suspense it built for Season 7. Also, we finally, after all these seasons, get introduced to the best villain of The Walking Dead. And his introduction was amazing. Now, I know a lot of people hate this episode because of, not seeing who dies. But you can't deny that the rest of the episode was absolutely amazing. It was emotional in some parts. It was exciting, action-oriented. A lot of drama trying to figure out how to get Maggie to the hilltop. And, the lineup, the iconic stuff from the comics, and not seeing who dies, I thought made it so exciting in my opinion. But, definitely still was painful of a wait. But that's basically why. I just really enjoyed this episode. I really did. A lot of people didn't, but I personally did. So, and now we know who dies, it's not as bad. So, we know when he hits the camera, when we watch it over again, oh yeah, he hits Abraham. That's, we know that now. So, it's not as bad. Then, moving in to the number 7 spot is the Season 2 finale. This was an amazing episode. I loved this season finale. We got the end of the farm. They kind of give us a sneak peek of the prison, kind of teasing that the governor will be coming, the prison will be coming, Michonne is, here, and, it's, a lot of it is a big setup for Season 3, also a very big ending for the second season, so it definitely was another really stellar episode, in my opinion. I thought it was great. Now, coming in at number 6 is the season 7 finale. This episode, a lot of people love. I do too. It's amazing. It's, the second best episode of season 7, in my opinion. It's just so awesome, When you get that battle, when you see Shiva come in, when you see everybody pick up their guns and fight, Rick and Carl and everybody else. Daryl's got the gun, and Ezekiel's coming in, and the tiger's eating people, and you got Jerry and Ezekiel and Jesus and Maggie and everybody, that widow's still alive, and it's got all that stuff. You got a huge death. You got the shocking kind of twist of the Junkyard Group, and you just got so much stuff, in this episode. The stuff with Michonne and that other girl as well, which was really exciting. I thought this episode was absolutely fantastic. So this episode is definitely number 6 on my list. Now, number 5 is going to be season 5, episode 3, called 4 Walls and a Roof. Wow, this one was amazing. I still just love this episode. This is amazing. Definitely. This episode, it finishes the Terminus group so fast, but it's so entertaining, when it's so fast like this. It is. And this is the conclusion. You got the death of Bob. You got the group splitting up a bit at the end. You got the stuff with Daryl at the end, which is kind of confusing at the time. And just everything. I loved this episode. It seems like every third episode of a season is always really good. It seems like. If you look at every season. The only season that really doesn't have the best third episode is season 7. But the other seasons have, great third episodes. So, look at that, really. Usually around the third, fourth episode, they do, a really good episode. So, anyway. Number 4 is going to be Too Far Gone, the season 4 mid-season finale, season 4, episode 8. You get the end of the governor, Herschel, other stuff. Now, personally, I don't really care about the governor. He's a good villain. Don't get me wrong. He's an amazing villain for what it is. But I just didn't like him as much as I like Negan. I actually didn't even like the governor. He's a good villain, but I just wasn't interested in his character. All I kind of cared about with the governor is that he's a good villain. He makes the story interesting. But him as a character, standalone, not that great, that's just me. But Negan is 10 times better. That's why I was this episode was probably the most entertaining episode with the governor, because we see him die, we see the Herschel stuff, we see the end of the prison, Rick get beat up, other things going on, Daryl, kind of defending himself there for a little bit. It was amazing. It was really amazing. Definitely great job on that episode, for sure. So that one is huge. So number 3 is going to be the season 7 premiere. Whew, man, this one, you get 2 deaths, you get the possibility of Carl losing his hand, you get the stuff with Rick and, the fog, and all, which was really cool. And it was sad, especially the ending with Maggie. But this episode, it just totally changes things. It really, and it introduces Negan. It introduces a villain in a way that we've never seen before, where the villain actually just beats the group, literally, and beats 2 of them to death, literally, So it's just, it's so good, though. It's such a good episode. As emotional as it is, it's entertaining. You can't deny that. So definitely, number 3 is the season 7 premiere. Now, number 2 is going to be No Sanctuary, season 5, episode 1. Now, this one was a toss-up between this one and my number 1. It was really tough, because I both loved this one and the one you'll see in a minute. But this one was just amazing, what they did. You have a really intense beginning, definitely. You have the return of Morgan out of nowhere, which a lot of people missed, because it was a scene, after the episode actually finished. And it was just whoa, Rick mowing down everybody, Carol coming in, saving everybody. Whew, just a really loaded episode. Really, really good. And you got the reuniting, there at some point, too, and it was just really good. And, it ended good, too, with Morgan and everything, and, the reuniting of Rick and Baby Judith. And also just earlier in that episode when you see Daryl and Carol hug and you see all that, it was really good. So this episode, it was really almost in the #1 spot, but it got beaten by this one right here. Yep, No Way Out. Definitely, season 6, episode 9. This episode, it's so good. With Daryl and the rocket launcher, you have the other stuff going on. It was so cool, man. The No Way Out, I thought it was even better in the TV show, to be honest. The only thing that wasn't better was the Carl eye shot, but aside from that, this was amazing, and even the Carl eye thing was good too. I just thought it was, handled better in the comics. But just the rocket launcher, you never saw Daryl with a rocket launcher in the comics, so that just added to it. And they extended it by, quite a few, like they added some scenes that were not in the comics that was like the standout of the episode, and it was, like the beginning of the episode and all that, like it was just so good. So there's my list for you guys. This is my updated list getting into season 8. We'll do another one after the first half of the season's over, so I'm sure I'm going to have a couple on the list. So, and I might actually extend it maybe even to a top 20 if you guys want to see that. Definitely. And also, I probably also will do a top 10 best characters before the season starts too. And I want to give my thoughts on, some other stuff like the names for some of the episodes coming up and some comic issue covers that have been released. And there's a lot to cover. So a lot of videos coming up for you guys really soon. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys later.